Alright, so today we are going to put these rims on my Yukon. So what I have here are a set of 4 wheel adapters. There's 3 here. Like I said, I've already put one on. This one right here is just the wheel adapter taken apart. It's a 2-piece wheel adapter, and it's from a 6-lug to a 5-lug, which means my vehicle hub is a 6-lug and my rims are a 5-lug. So I've got a 6-lug adapter to a 5-lug. Now the first thing we need to do, which I've already gone and done, was jack up the car. I would advise using a heavy-duty jack stand as well. You don't have to have it, I guess, but for safety I would definitely use stands. I've already got my lug nuts off. You know, as soon as you jack this up and it's off the ground, you're not going to have the wheel touching the ground to where you can torque this down. So what I've done is I've gone and got a couple of 2x4s to hold down the brake. And then all I did was put that in there, and I have automatic seats, so I just moved this forward to where it compressed the brake. And now these are locked down to where I can remove bolts. It's not going to move. I can torque it down and do everything. The necessary tools are a torque wrench. You'll need a 3/4 deep socket, and you'll also need I believe this is a 10mm. Let me look. No, an 8. Number 8 hex head. And depending on what size drive this is, you may need a reducer. I know I have a 1/2-inch drive torque wrench, but that 8mm X head is a 3/8. So I also have a reducer 1/2-inch to 3/8, and I also am using an extension just to get in there, and that's all going to depend on your vehicle. I am also using a grinder with a sanding flap disc, and then I also have a grinder with a cutoff disc, and I'll show you why I need those in just a minute. Okay, so I have the tire off. I have the first piece of the wheel adapter. Fits over like this. Now you'll notice, if we look at it like this, the posts are going past the adapter. That cannot go past the adapter. And I'll repeat that one more time because this is very, very important. And this is where most people make the mistake. Nothing at all can protrude past the wheel adapter's face right here. Everything has to be sucked inside to where this is a perfectly flat surface for the second piece to go on. Nothing can be past this face. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to mark these. I've got to cut them back, which is why I use my cutoff disc with my grinder. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a file, get all the burrs off, take the flapper disc and clean everything up, and then we'll move on from there. So let me mark these up, cut them off, and then I'll be back. Okay, one thing I did forget is I normally get the lug nuts on before I cut them, so that way if any burrs are difficult to get off, back to the back of the, or the face of the hub, whatever you want to call this surface. They're all the way back. Okay, when you're doing this, be very, very careful you don't mess up your threads. Otherwise, you're gonna probably have to replace your whole hub. So be very careful. Here they are, cleaned up. Just gonna make sure that there's no grindings or anything on this surface. Okay, so I have this whole surface wiped down. I'm going to put the adapter on. Okay, now I'm going to get my torque wrench. With my vehicle, the specifications for the torque on the tires is 140 pounds. So that's for a GMC Yukon. You'll have to check the specs for whatever vehicle you have and see what the specs on the torque on your wheels are. But I've got mine set at 140 now. I'll tighten these up. Okay, I'm going to assume that there may be somebody watching this video that's never used a torque wrench. When you use a torque wrench, you set the torque that you want. You'll hear a click. With my torque wrench, it gives 2 clicks, saying that you've reached that torque pound. And then you want to stop and then once you've gotten everything tightened all the way around, I usually go one more time all the way around and just give it that pressure and make sure that I get that click sound without any rotation, because once you've gone all the way around, may loosen up one of your other lug nuts, and then you won't have the proper torque. So if you go all the way around and hear that click without the lug spinning, then you've got your torque all the way around your. Not going anywhere. Then what I'll do is I'll click this on and lock it on the on position, and then I have a pair of pliers that I just grab these, and then I grind it that way. That way my hand's away from the grinder. If it gets hot a little bit, it won't burn my fingers or anything. And then I'll go all the way around and get that done. Okay, what I was doing is I kept checking it with the socket and finding out where it was catching on, and then I would just clean it up and barely take anything off until I'm able to get a good fit. Now what I'll do is I'll take these corners and get those just barely flat. I'll clean up along the edge. There's no sharp corners anywhere. It's a good fit. I'll do the other 4 lugs because I only need 5 of them done, even though I have 6. Remember, we're converting to a 5 lug, so I only need 5 of these cleaned up and kind of shrunk down. So I'll get those done while I'm charging my phone, and then I'll bring you guys back. That connect the 2 pieces of adapter. It locks it down, but it doesn't lock it down so tight where you can't get it off with a socket. But these will, the Loctite will help for any type of vibration. It won't back the threads out of the. I'm going to torque down screws. Now I'm going to go back up to 140 pounds. So that's the specs that are on my for my tires. Put this cover back on and lower the truck and we'll be done. I'm not sure if I covered this while I was putting the adapter on my vehicle, but if I did, I'm going to cover it again anyways because this is the most important part. This is going to determine whether your adapters fail or not. I'd mentioned this has to be completely flat. Once you mount this on your hub, you've got your lugs torqued down. You've got all your lugs in there. They're torqued down. Everything's set. Before you put the second piece on here, I usually take some sort of straight edge, go along, and make sure there's a little bit of gap in there. Nothing's touching it. Okay? Make sure everything is underneath this surface. Nothing is protruding above this surface. The most important part. There's been people who've put these on and did not make sure, and their wheels have fallen off, caused damage to their vehicle. I'm pretty sure any place that sells the adapters does not cover damage to your car if these fail. So make sure that you check everything is flat. And if these fail because of something above this, I'm pretty sure insurance isn't going to cover it either, because you've modified the vehicle. Unless you have a really, really good insurance, maybe they'll cover it. I don't know. That's something you'd have to ask your insurance company. But I'm pretty sure the people that sell the adapters are not going to cover it if you install this wrong. So like I said, that is the most important part, making sure this is flat. Okay, just a couple more things about putting on the wheel adapters. I don't think it's required to put the threadlock blue on, but I would highly, highly recommend it. I wouldn't put the threadlock red on. It's a stronger lock, which makes it very, very difficult to get it apart when you need to take it apart, if you ever need to take it apart. The threadlock blue is resistant against vibration and the things backing off, but yet you can still take them off with a socket and a ratchet. So I would recommend the threadlock blue. I did go back to the first wheel adapter that I did and put the threadlock on there, so that's all taken care of. The other thing I want to go over is me modifying my original lug nuts, grinding them down to a smaller size. I'm not sure if that's going to alter the integrity of the lug nuts enough to where I need to worry about it, but they are only going to be temporary. I'm going to be ordering up the 3/4 head lug nuts, but unfortunately they're a specialty item, so I can't get them in any auto part store where I live at. So I have to order them online, wait for them to come in, and then I can put them on. Like I said, I don't know if it alters the integrity of those, so if you do that, do it at your own risk, I guess, because I'm not sure what it will do or anything. The bolts that attach the two pieces of the wheel adapters, me personally, I'm going to probably take the wheels off every week, check those that they're not backed off or anything, just to make sure that the wheel adapter doesn't fall apart. So once a week for, I don't know, a couple of months, 2-3 months,
I will probably take the wheels off, grab my torque wrench, and make sure that they're still torqued to 80 pounds, and make sure they're not backing off. So that might be an idea that you can do if you're putting wheel adapters onto your vehicle. I just want to make sure that nothing's going to happen to where my wheel falls off, so I'd rather take the time and continually check them until I feel comfortable that they're secured enough to where I don't have to worry about it anymore. If that ever happens, I don't know, I may always check them. So that's just something you may want to think about. And the last thing that I want to talk about is this is the process that I had for my vehicle. Every vehicle may be different, or most likely is different. So just be sure that for your vehicle you do research. You take apart your wheels and see what kind of materials and things that you need for your vehicle. Not every vehicle is going to need to go through what I went through, like the grinding of the original lug nuts. The reason I had to do that is because my original lug nuts were too long for the interpiece of the wheel adapter. They were too long, they were sticking out above the surface, so I had to switch those over to the outside piece of the wheel adapter and use the lugs that came with the wheel adapters on the inside because they fit inside. And then I actually had to order 4 more specialty lug nuts for the inside, going from 6 to 5. I was short 1 per wheel, so I had to order that. So that's how I know I can't get those specialty lug nuts anywhere around here. But like I was saying, every vehicle is different. Do your research. Make sure that, like I said, you have the lugs that you need, the sizes that you need, the amount that you need. Another thing you want to probably look into is those wheel adapters will bring your tires out. I think it's 2 inches. So make sure that the wheels that you're putting on, when you turn your wheels, that it's not going to hit your wheel wall or fender or anything like that. I got pretty lucky. Mine barely skimmed through, so it's like a perfect fit. Yeah, I'm not sure what else other vehicles would need to research. Just make sure that you check everything out, check everything over. If you're ordering wheel adapters, I got mine through mywheeladapter.com. Very good quality, very good customer service. If you have any questions, the guy that runs that shop will answer any questions that you have. So when you order them up, if you're not 100% sure you're getting the right adapters, give him a call, send him an email, and he will definitely help you out in ordering the correct ones. And I'm sure he's probably got some tips and some knowledge on different types of vehicles and what they pertain and what you'll need for them. So any questions at all, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them. He was great when I had a couple of questions. Just called him up, shot him an email, and he answered me right away. And when I originally ordered my wheel adapters, they were actually the wrong ones. They were on the actual rim side of the adapter. It was like a ½ inch too short. So I actually had to send it back, and he sent me a new set really quick. I was surprised how fast I got them back. And the guy will explain all of this to you, and the website will explain all to you that he has no problem exchanging the adapters if you do order the wrong ones. You just have to pay for shipping. And as long as you haven't put them on your vehicle, he will exchange. Anyways, I hope this has helped somebody out. If you're looking to put wheel adapters on, hopefully this will clear some things up, or if you're having troubles, hopefully this video will help you out a little bit. So until next time, we'll catch you guys later.